Hey YouTube. Well, we haven't got to spend a lot of time together recently, so I thought it would make up for lost time. Actually, that's not true. Took my exam this morning, and so it's a little bit later in the day now, and I took the day off. I took leave. I took vacation for the day, and so I'm playing catch up, and I have a bunch of straight razors that I have to do. I have my knives that I have to get sharpened. I have several of your customers' knives that I have to get sharpened, and when I got this razor from this gentleman, I wanted to talk to you all about maintaining your straight razors. So you can see there's some rust on it, and this has some rust that at first, while outwards appearances did not look significant when I got this razor. Helicopters. But this is one of those cases where appearances can be deceiving. So I got this guy's razor, and there was some what looked to be some surface rust like you have on it, because you get some spotting and rust, but all in all, this razor doesn't look, and I mean, I've sharpened a lot of straight razors, it doesn't look like it's in that bad a condition. And in his other straight razor here that he won in an auction, it doesn't look like it was in that bad a condition. I told him, you know, till I start sharpening, I won't be able to let you know, but I've sharpened this razor for him before, so I was telling him it should be, since I've already set the edge on it and you haven't done anything stupid to it really. Oh, I don't want to ruin the reveal. I told him, yeah, it should be right around 20 bucks, which is about my average price for straight razors, because I don't think that they should cost much more than that, because they really truly aren't that hard to sharpen if there's nothing wrong with them. Herein lies the problem with this one. Somehow this young man, I just got done texting him and sent him some pictures of it, has managed to get rust on two spots on the edge of this, has rusted clear through the edge. And there's gonna be some work, because from one side it looks like, oh yeah, it's just a little bit of work to just take off some metal and take it out. But then when you look at the other side, well, we'll flip this camera around and I'll point it out to you. So what we'll do is I'll move this direction, and I'm gonna pause this, flip the camera around so you can see what I'm talking about. So hang on just a second. So when you look at it from this side, you can see where there's a spot right here. It looks like you can see where there's some rust that has penetrated through the edge, and it looks like a chip. What it is that's where the rust has just penetrated through. And the same down here at the bottom. This little spot down here at the heel of that razor, where it's penetrated through and rusted through. But like I said, all aspects, it didn't look like it was that bad. It looked like just some insignificant surface rust. But then when you flip it over, that's when you realize that rust, that spot of rust, goes fairly well back into that edge. And I'm gonna have to take off, and you can see it more significantly there at the back, I'm gonna have to take off a significant amount of metal to get back to where I've got usable edge on this razor. So this brings up a point of how you care for your razors. This razor obviously got put away, left wet. I would never, ever, ever put my razor away wet. So now here brings up that other point. You see where I'm taking metal off the spine and the edge to marry it up evenly? If you've got somebody that's sharpening your razors and they're putting tape on that spine, shame on them, because they're not doing it right. So yeah, I'm having to use a fairly coarse stone to take off a significant amount of metal, and it's just a matter of patience. So what was initially going to be me taking, I don't know, probably 15-20 minutes just to touch up a razor for a gentleman, and then give it back to him, has now turned into what's going to be a significant amount. I have to take that entire amount of metal all the way back. And the problem is, when you're doing a straight razor, and I've told you guys before, you can't use any pressure. There's no pressure involved when doing a straight razor. Let me show you. Let me see here. So I'd started my stroke back here, and you just set it on a stone. You know, oh, my stone's gotten a little dry. Put a couple drops of water, and I'm using about a 600 grit stone. Let's do that straight back. I'm using no pressure. I'm just allowing my finger just to rest on that, just to keep me from taking any chance that I'm going to let that lift at all. through the course of travel. And I'm just letting that razor just glide across that stone. I'm not using any pressure at all. That finger, or sometimes I'll set my thumb on it just as a guide. And that is going to take me a significant amount of time. It was a lot worse. I've actually been working on it for a while, and I thought, let me get my camera out, or my phone out, and do a little bit of YouTube video. I mean, it's just what's going to be. Now, I suppose I could always just take this and run this like I would if this had a frown. But I'm still going to have to do the same amount of work, because then I would have to take the material off the spine. Because if I don't, then it's going to have a kind of a blunt, it will have a blunt edge, and it won't be a comfortable. This is the best way. This is the best overall way to do it. If you don't, you wind up with a fairly blunted cutting edge, and I'm just going to have to sit here and gently and be patient. That's said time and time again. Sharpening a straight razor is an exercise in patience. Because if you get impatient and try to put pressure and trying to treat it like a knife and do the circles that you see people do, you are going to wind up with a less than usable end result. So I have to take all that out. Now, if he wanted, I could probably just knock that corner off and round it over. But I don't think he wants that. I think he wants this straight razor to just be back the way it was. Man, that's a lot of material that has to come off of that. So yeah, I passed my insurance exam. I'm back to sharpening the stuff out here. I have to wait till tomorrow, and I have to send my request in for my state issued license. I have to pay for that, but apparently Jack at Aflac has stated that since I did it so quickly, they have a policy where if you do it in a really quick fashion, that he pays for your license. So that's gonna save me like $200. And then I'll think I will be heading out from my current position here in a couple weeks. It's kind of a scary proposition to leave a job and go into something you've never done before, but I've told people this before. When I was active duty, when I was in the military, I sought out challenges and changes, and I basically never did the same thing twice. I mean, I did similar things, but I never did the same thing twice. None of my duties were the same, and now I've been doing the same thing for going on 8 years. Basically been doing the same thing for going on 8 years. And this will allow me, no 2 days at this job are gonna be the same, because no 2 companies I walk into are gonna be the same. No 2 people that I deal with are gonna be the same. And it's going to allow me to go back to that person that I was, that sought out challenges and changes, because change and challenges equal growth in a person. And I just haven't been having that. It's been the same thing every day. I've chased down the same problems in the same rabbit hole for basically the last 6 years. I'm dealing with the same issues and the same problems every day for the last 6 years. And I've told people before that a comfort zone is where things don't grow. Challenges and changes initiate growth in a person, and I would like to get back to the person I was when I actively sought out challenges and changes and initiated growth in myself. It was not forced upon me by outside hands. I forced it upon myself. So it's something that my father had recognized when we talked about it when I was home before he passed away. He said that he recognized that I wasn't as happy as I was when I was in the military, and that maybe for the benefit of my wife and daughter, I needed to find that person that I was, because I wasn't doing them any benefit being that grumpy, unhappy person. He saw it. He recognized it, even as sick as he was. He saw it when I was there. We had a long talk about it. So this is just one of those things that I'm doing for him, that I promised that I would try to do, because I've come to the conclusion that staying at this job will do one of 2 things. One of 2 things it will give me: a heart attack or a divorce. I can't afford either one of those. can't. I love my wife, I love my child, and I don't want to have a heart attack. So, all right, YouTube, I'm gonna put this together and get it posted. I will holler at y'all later. I gotta finish this razor and the 2 others and the 4 knives and 2 kitchen knives and all of my knives that I made and all that stuff. Get that done, because apparently I've been fucking off from my personal business responsibilities, because, you know, I apparently want to put food on the table or some silly crap, and I just got a notification from one of my friends that he wants to send some stuff this way. So, but now I've got, now that I'm done with that license, I've got more time to focus. There is going to be a video coming specifically about this gun, my XD that my father gave me, my XDS actually, to be more accurate. We're going to have a video about that, because I've noticed things about that gun I really would like to point out and call out some of the significant things that they do on those guns. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you guys, thanks for watching. Almost 300. I think I am at 299 subscribers. Never figured I'd have 30. Never figured I'd have 100 videos. How that works out. Never figured I'd have a video with more than a couple hundred views, and I've got one that's got like 13,000. So, all right, guys, take it easy. I'll talk to you later.